I'm sure some of you are familiar with what this is. It's a Sonos speaker. This one, well, it doesn't work anymore. It set itself on fire, which is not ideal. But I wanted to show you about the hidden menus that you can access on Sonos and how they can help you diagnose problems and network issues. They are quite a secretive thing that you can't really see and you can't really understand because they use their own like Sonos network. So let's jump over to the computer and I'll show you that. So I've got here the little like about my system page. If you've got an update screen, you just click more options, about my system. Or if you're in, you go into your user account and then you go about my system. But about my system pulls up this. And we're going to come back to this in a minute. But first, I'm just going to explain how the Sonos speakers talk to each other. So this is my sort of Sonos map, as you can see. All of the speakers sort of talk to each other. So this speaker, say it's in the kitchen, it talks to all of the speakers nearby and it works out the best way to talk to them to play the music between them. So say you wanted the one in the kitchen and say you wanted the one by the front door to play music together. They'll talk to each other to coordinate that playing. They won't go onto your network. They use their own wireless network that they make between each other. And of course, one of them over here, say, is going to be the hub. And eventually, with enough hops, you'll get back to the hub. And that's how they get access to the internet. So then going out here, you'd have the internet. We'll make that red. That accesses the internet. That's kind of how that works. So actually diagnosing problems with them, like if you've got interference, so say you've got here a big wall and you actually don't want the front door and, I don't know, the lounge to talk to each other, it's a bit hard to work out that that's the problem. They are aware of that and they've given us the trick that we need. So going back to this about my system page, if we grab the IP address of any of these, so I'm going to get this one, 10.0.9.140, you're going to need that, copy that. And then if you go to any web browser on your local network and you go to the IP address, followed by the port, followed by support/review, that allows you to pull up this page, which is the support page, which gives you vital information about all your system. So primarily, you have a list of all of the speakers and you can click on any one of them and pull up player information. It looks a bit like this. Ethernet status, version information, other network status that you might need, how it's connected to the network, whether it's got an Ethernet connection or whether it's running by Wi-Fi, how the bridging's working, all of that sort of stuff. But down at the bottom is the key thing that you need to know about, you need to look at. It's the network matrix. I'll have to zoom out a bit for this. But this is the network matrix. It's a very, very large matrix of how each speaker talks to every other one. For me, we've got about 30 plus Sonos. Well, 30 are online right now, and there's at least this one that's not, and there's a few more that aren't. But these all talk to each other, and this shows me how they're talking to each other. So if we jump in here, see the AirPlay Connect is talking to Thomas room, gym, top of stairs, utility room, outside hall, etc. You get the idea. I won't listen to all that. And the ones in green are the ones that the connections are actively using. So AirPlay Connect is actively using Thomas room to talk to the network, and then it'll fall back to utility room as it thinks that's the next closest, then it'll fall back to the conservatory, which from what I know about my house, that would fall about right. So we've got the AirPlay Connect here, and then over here is my room, and then down here is the utility room, and then over here is the conservatory. So yeah, these are about close. In your network, unless it's the same speaker, so AirPlay Connect, you actually don't want any blank spaces. You don't want this sort of massive amount of blank area. That means the speakers aren't talking to each other. In our case, it's due to the fact that they are so far away from each other and I have Wi-Fi turned off on a lot of them. Anything where I've plugged an Ethernet cable into it, I've turned off the Wi-Fi settings. You can do that on that web page that I just showed you, this web page. But down here you can see there's a bit more of a concrete graph. Things in red are where there's bad links. It's struggling to do stuff. So this one and the con has got an issue uplinking because I'm guessing it's got no primary. That'd be correct. Sometimes you can have more than one, and that probably means that something else is forwarding into it, so it's forwarding out more stuff. I'm not an expert on what this graph says, but it helped me diagnose any problems. And actually, there's not much about it out there, so I thought I'd show you it. But yeah, that's kind of it for this video. It's a quick one. I'm being busy doing some coding work. Hopefully I'll be back with some videos. I'm adding some AI to random applications at the moment, so I'm going to do a video about that and stuff. And I'll see you in the week. Enjoy!